Hi, welcome back. I'm Carl Russell. You are watching Arkansas Wushu. So let's go ahead and open it up. I do have some videos back in the Huan QUan series, but I may do another article here soon on that salutation to help you guys with that. Anyways, let's go ahead and warm up a little bit. So I'm going to warm up today with a jump rope. So if you don't have a jump rope, just use imaginary jump rope, jump up and down. The important part is to get moving, get your blood rate up. So on jump her up, well, just until we feel good and warm. Let's go. Sometimes I like to do different patterns to mix it up some. Not enough room for that here though. All right, let's go ahead and do about 15 crunches. Just get a little ab work in. And up. Okay, now we should be good and warm. Want to do some stretch kicks, get stretched out. We'll start off just half height. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I'm going to go ahead and put our hand on the wall and just go up to about hip level and back down. Try to kick the heel out like a side kick while you do the stretch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, let's go ahead and do a stretch kick full height. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, let's do a full stretch to the side. 1, you don't got to worry about kicking your heel out now. Just however's comfortable, let it fly up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now let's do your rear stretches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, let's do some wall stretches. Get the flexibility up a little bit before we do Shaolin. Shaolin really focuses on flexibility. It's a major point for those deep flow stances. So we are going to take a little bit of time stretching in the beginning. So for our first stretch, if you want, you can use a wall. If not, you can do it in the air. Either way, let's do this one in the air, actually. I'll rock back on the heel. Keep this front leg straight. Try to keep the spine straight. And bring the forehead towards the toe. And back up. Let's do that 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. You want to fold at the waist, not arch the back too much. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, so let's go over to a wall. If you have a stretch rack, even better. But a wall will work. Just gonna put your foot on the wall. Try to keep the hips forward. Pull the toes back. We want to rock forward and back 10 times. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And switch sides. And focus more on form than height at first, because that's what's going to help you in the long run. All right. So I'm going to pull the toes back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right. So I'm going to switch sides and do the side stretch. So put your heel up, put your toes back, bring your arm to the inside of your leg, facing sideways from your leg, and bend over and back 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Switch sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right. So let's go down to the floor. We put our right knee back, left leg forward, hands straight out. We want to slide out to a comfortable or as comfortable as you can get front split. Want to rock back and forth on that 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Switch sides. Same thing. Just go up on your left knee, bring your right heel up, let that slide out. If you need to, push down, drag that back foot out until you're about as comfortable as you can get, or as far as you can get comfortably, and then 10 rocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And all right, so that gives us a good little stretch. Let's go into some of the stances. So first most important thing, of course, is horse stance. Don't push your legs about twice length your shoulders. I like to do the iron bridge. You can bring it back. But you want to keep your head like as if it was suspended from a string, keeping your spine straight, so don't let yourself bend over and put your hands on your knees or anything like that. And then just think of like sitting back down on a horse, and you want to try to go as low as you can and hold that position. Ideally, you want these legs parallel with the floor, but most people can't get it there, and even if they can get there, it's really hard to hold. So just go as deep as you feel like you can hold. And we'll do that for 30 seconds. About 30 seconds. I'm counting my head, so maybe a little off. You want to keep the heels pushed outward. On your elbows, try not to let them flare out. If you are holding it, keep them under, in line with your shoulder. All right, let's come up from that. So that's our horse stance. Next one, I have our bow stance. So go ahead and relax those legs just a little bit. Going to a little bit higher of a horse. And all you're going to do is turn this leg forward and bend it. Again, try to bend it to where the leg is parallel. And then hold your stance there for just a few seconds. And come up. So you can feel how it burns a little bit. It is like doing a lunge, almost exactly a lunge. So let's go ahead and do that on the other side. All right, and up. So by bending to that parallel point, that's where you're going to need that flexibility at. Because if you're not very flexible, it's going to be hard to get lower into those stances, especially this next stance. It's known as Pubu or drop stance, sometimes called dragon stance. But you don't put your legs about twice the length of your shoulders. Bend one leg Again, try to keep your knees back behind your toes. Don't let your knees go over your toes. When your knee gets in front of your toes, that's where a lot of knee injuries come from. So if you can help it, keep the knee behind the toe. Try to kick that heel out, point those toes back towards you a little bit, and bend down, and keeping the back as straight as you can. And let's hold that for a good 10 seconds. I'm going to keep my hands up so you're not relieving pressure. And all right, so that same thing on the other side. And hold. And come up. Okay, so those are the basic stances we're going to need. There's also a cat stance. We're not going to do too much of that. So let's go ahead and get into the form. I'm going to start off doing it step by step. I'm going to do it 5 times in the air. I'm going to try to do it with a dummy 5 times so that you might see an example of how it's used. So our first movement is really simple. You're just pulling your hands back to your waist and sharply turning your head left. That's it. So we don't even need the dummy for that. We're just glancing over 10 times. Pull the hands back, look. We're making this a part of the form just because that head movement is important. We should be looking before we strike, not striking and then seeing what's going on. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Real easy, right? Okay, so our next technique, I want to step out to horse stance and I want to start bringing this arm up. So I'm bringing it up just like an outward block. If you don't know what an outward block is, for a lot of people I tell them just think that you're reaching into something and picking it up to look at it. If you got a kid and you're looking at one of their toys before they play with it or something, just pick something out of the box and look at it. That is the same motion that you use to do an outward block. All right, so we're going to do up to that point 10 times. Or we'll do it 5 times, and then we'll do it 5 times with a dummy. So 1, 2. And try to get that stance deep. That's how you're going to get more exercise. It's going to be a lot harder if you go for that deep stance. If you just step out, yeah, you can do it simply. But can you step out, keep your back straight, keep this down, get those legs down in parallel, kick those heels out, and hold that position, you'll find it a much more exhausting workout. 4, 5, so I'm going to drive the dummy out. And because I know how this technique follows up, I'm going to say that we come here, and this person is reaching across to grab the shoulder or the chest. So we're just coming out and hitting the inside of that arm right now to stop it. Okay? 1, 2. It's actually 6 and 7. 8. 9. And 10. All right. So our next movement kind of comes together. This turns and turns like a hanging punch or an over the head downward punch. I've heard it called both names, hanging punch, over the head downward. Normally you see it come over and to the side, but you notice when we come over, sometimes we wind up in that position on our way through. So all I did here was created that position as a stop hit before we continued through. So we're going to continue through with a punch, preferably to the nose. I recommend aiming either for the jawline or right below the nose or the nose itself. Up here, top, it can be fatal. That could cause you some police charges you don't want. The nose itself can break, plus as soon as you hit it, the eyes water up, the nose bleeds. It really catches your attention when you hit the nose. There's a pressure point right below the nose, though, right underneath it. And generally what happens, if you can nail that spot and hit them right there, it will instantly put them on their butt. They'll just sit down. It's happened to me a bunch of times, but for some reason, when you get hit on that pressure point, it just takes you right off your feet. Your balance is going and you're on your butt. The pressure point down lower is on the chin, and that's the knockout point. That's what they call the button. If you can tap the very point of that chin, all these nerve centers come and meet in that chin, and there's a cluster of nerves there. So whenever it gets hit, it sends a shockwave to the brain that causes it to shut down, which is what, the person just passes out in layman's terms. Okay, so either here, here, or here. One of those three places, right? So either with your jaw, right below your nose, or on the nose. I don't recommend it here because it's fatal. It's not a hook, so we're not going for the sides. The sides also work out as knockout points right below the ear where the jaw comes together. But because that is a hinge, if you hit it too hard, you can break the jaw as well. So choose wisely. Anyways, so we'll do it in the air first. I'll face the dummy the other way so I'm not tempted. I'll pull, look left, step out, and I'll go ahead and go all the way through this hanging punch into the next strike. 5 times. 1. 2. 3. I didn't look. 4. 5. Okay, so our next 5, I'm going to do on the dummy, for example. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. Okay, so the next movement, after we look, step out, hanging punch to a flat punch, is a left straight punch with a right kick. Do it like a snap kick. You know what a snap kick is? It's just a punch kick combination, right? So if we were looking at the dummy, we'd be here. We just hit them. They might grab an arm or something like that, so we can pull their arm back to us as we hit them and kick them at the same time. I like to try to go to the groin because my toes pointed, but there are certain styles that we will actually kick with the toes. Because they say we don't care if we break our toes if we hurt them. I'm kind of against that. I think the less damage you can do to your own body, the better off you are. The idea is to come out without damage, so it doesn't make sense to just damage yourself. To me, I don't agree with that concept. I do understand some conditioning and some hardening, but whenever you're breaking bones, it's not a good practice. Okay. So let's do that 5 times in the air. 1. 'Now this is the hard part of that form. It's like I said, you want to go low, right? So whenever you throw your next technique, your head stays the same level. Whenever you throw that kick and punch, you want to come up. Don't let yourself come up. Keep that power and that stability. You want to stay low, so you're pulling back and kicking and punching at the same time without letting your head change heights. Okay. 2. 3. 4. And 5. Okay, now on the dummy. It's going to get harder as we go on because this form is meant to move and the Wing Chun dummy won't. Okay. 1. 6. When I have to pull my toes back to hit, no, I don't. I'll just kick underneath here. 6 or 7. 8. 9. 10. Alright, so after we do the kick and punch at the same time, when we sit down, this hand comes up. I like to push the palm up. There are variations where they use a fist. I like the palm. I'm going to use the palm. And we push out with a willow leaf palm. So, if we were thinking from a fight, when we threw the punch and kick, for some reason it didn't work, or we still had a hold of their arm, we push that arm up out of the way, coming underneath it with that palm heel. Because of the direction whenever I do this, I may have to deflect off and hit. I'm going to call this one to the nose, because generally when I teach in Chuan Fa, when we strike with palm heels, we're striking the solar plexus. We generally don't have our fingers up like this. I'll turn my fingers to the side because they're safe, whereas they might hit an elbow joint or something. Like I said, we're not trying to hurt ourselves. We're trying to hurt the person attacking us. So if I'm hitting the rib cage, I'm throwing that palm sideways, not straight up and down. If I want to throw a palm heel to the groin, I'm going upside down. And if I want to throw it to the nose or the heel, that's when I'll actually, or nose or the chin, that's when I'll hit my fingers pointing up. So it's very rare you'll see me do a palm heel to the body with the hands facing up. They'll more face sideways. So for this one, I'm going to deflect off and come up into the push. It may mess with my eyes a little bit when we get to the dummy, but I just want to explain why. Okay. So 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. All right, now I'm going to do it on the dummy. 6. going to shift a little bit. And this is when you want to do those practices with a heavy bag, with a speed bag, with a double end bag, with a partner. If you've got one, a Wing Chun dummy. If you've got one, a grappling dummy. Practice in as many scenarios on as many sizes as you can. That way you can get used to making the adjustments you're going to have to make in the last minute, because these forms teach you the basics, they teach you the techniques, but real fights, they don't stand still, they move. So you've got to be ready for something that moves. Like a speed bag's a great thing because it's constantly moving. And that's why it's used so much in boxing, is because you've got to time it. You can't just sit there and stay doing the same thing until you get that timing down. And then you can learn to move around it in a circle, and that helps a lot. Oh. 7. Eight. 9. And 10. All right, so after that last technique, I'll turn around so you can see that. We're in horse stance, left high block, right palm heel. His hand's going to swoop underneath and cup. Just come together and back this slap. Right? So it should look like right there. Okay. So that 5 times in the air. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. So you're in the next 5 here. So I've already done the palm here. So you want to think of it like a hit down to the groin and smash with a fist. I'm going to be probably going ahead and hit the outside of both of those. Let's do it. 6. 'll try to come here. The good thing about these dummies is you can always use them to condition the forearms at worst. And you want those forearms conditioned, because if someone hits you, the first thing you're going to do, even if you don't know how to fight, is cover yourself. Natural reaction, someone comes at you, if it's a kid or something that's scared, it's here. You wind up taking a lot of damage to the forearms. And that's actually not that bad of a defense to bring that arm up and put it in the way so that you can take most of it with the forearm. Fighting there is a good way to, it's a pretty decent fighting position. Okay. 7. 8. 9. And 10. All right, so we're gonna have a hop change right after that. So from bringing our fists together here, just gonna jump up, turn 180 degrees, land in a horse stance, back to this position. Except for right hand's up, left hand's out. Okay. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. All right, so now we move on to doing it on the dummy. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. All right, so we're going to go ahead and add the next 2 movements because they're basically the same thing. After we switch sides here, step into bow stance. I'm going to do a right palm heel, left palm heel. So just double strike with the palms. All right, let's do that 5 times. 1. 'And come back. 2. 3. 4. 5. and 5. Alright, so next I'm going to do it on the dummy. You see I might make a couple of changes as we go, an adjustment to adjust to the dummy in the position, but the form remains the same. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. Okay, so next we're going to get into our first really difficult stance and go to the drop stance. So after we have this double palm strike here, this hand's going to move outward, go into a hook hand, come behind you. As this hand is a downward press, kind of comes from the waist to push down. As this one swings behind, you drop down to a poo-poo or a drop stance. Just want to go up to there 5 times, and we'll do that 5 times with the dummy. 1. 'Sorry, I tie it with a downward press, but you do actually won't bring the elbow down. Keep the arm up. Some of these things I've done so many times, if I don't do them fast, I kind of mess them up a little bit. Which shows me that I need to slow down, work on more. That's what we're doing today. Okay. 2. 3. 4. 5. Okay, so that motion has a lot of applications, or possible applications. So we're just going to go over a couple of simple ones. Normally sweeping outward is just hitting the limb and grabbing it and moving it to the side. So Consider this one grabbing here. You could think of that as pulling them down and coming with an elbow up on top. Another possibility is it could be a wrist lock. If they've grabbed your arm, you might turn that into a wrist grab by circling your hand over and then coming back. Of course, it comes all the way behind you for aesthetics to make the form look good, but that could also mean that we're grabbing here, pulling back and using this almost like an inward block motion to create a throw. Like someone has an arm on you, or they were throwing a punch, and you reach back and grab that wrist and pull it back and do an inward block to the inside of the elbow joint. As you sink down in a stance, it creates a throw because you're pulling them off balance. The elbow joint's a pressure point. It's not a pain point, but it's a point that forces the elbow to bend. And when they're already being pulled and they can't pull that arm back and their elbow bends, it pulls their body off balance. So a little bit of twist makes it very easy to throw. So that could be a throw. A lot of times when I see that sinking elbow, I think of trapping the arm. Like if someone is grabbed by the side, I can come over the arm and trap their arm under mine so that they can't get out. So there's a host of things that it could be. So don't get too set on one application. Not the same thing happens in every fight. So these are meant to be a little bit fluid. You know, they should work off more than one thing. It's not one set thing. And sometimes the one set thing it is meant to work off of, if thrown a little bit differently, it won't work anymore because you got to change it a little bit. And that's why I was saying play with different dummies, play with different people, try your forms on everything you can. That way you know as many situations as possible, so that if you do have to adjust, you've already had a little bit of experience with that. Okay, so 6, I'm going to look. I'm going to come back and call this first one just a block or knocking the punch out of the way. If they've got their guard up and a hit, right? And I'm going to kick the groin and kick. Okay, but what if they've recovered or they backed up and missed and they're coming overhead strike? So I block up and strike out. A little bit of a smash there. Jump up, same thing. Walking up, hit. Step forward, double strike. I'm going to say that's a crane's beak across the eyes. Again, all sorts of applications. I'm going to use that as an eye rake. Say they've grabbed the arm, trap it, and bring them down to the ground. And then where's this other finger going to be? If their hand's trapped under and I've pulled them down, I can shoot right back up into the eyes if I wanted. So that's what I'm going to use that as, is an eye rake and a trap. Oh. 7. Oops. Eight. Nine. And 10. All right. So after we've done that sink, we'll move on to our next technique. Want to come up, hooking over, bringing it back, and striking out, kind of like we're bringing up and pulling a weapon away as we strike. And go ahead and do that a little bit quicker just to make sure I'm correct. Okay. Yep. I always want to go out to the side myself, try to keep it open. 1. 2. 3. 'Found I didn't feel right. This one's going to come over, and this one's going to come out. That's why it's good to go over and over and over again, even after you're done for years. You forget things or overlook things. Just the slightest little detail slipping, you got to go back and fix them. 5. 'Oh, on the dummy now for the next 5. 6. 'Same thing, I'm going to do eye break, strike. Say this is going over, so like I said, just pulling some of the other hand. 7. 8. 9. 10. All right, we'll go ahead and finish out the first half. Just to say we did the first half at least of Lian Huan QUan. It's a good form to learn. It's one of the basic forms in your Shaolin Kung Fu, more southern Shaolin rather than northern Shaolin. Okay, so after we step out with that palm heel, all we gotta do from there is a slap kick, bring the hand up, and push out with a slight lean forward. All right, so let's do that 10 times, and we'll close out after we've done the first half. Okay, 1, 2. 3. 4. And 5. All right. I'm going to breathe just a second. I'm going to do that 5 times at a comfortable speed. We'll go ahead and do these in the air as well. Just to get that practice in. Again, any dummy you've got, try your forms on them. If they're not working, make those adjustments. See what you got to do before it comes up in a real life situation. Okay. 6. 7. 8. 9. 1 time. One more time. And 10. Oops, sorry. Let's go on to the next part. All right, so that's our class for today. If you want to, take some time, do a cool down stretch. Do some static stretches like split holds or something similar. It's already been an hour, so I'm going to go ahead and close out for tonight. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow will be another endurance workout. So come join me for that. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't. Thank you for watching.